An unknown virus has killed the world populace, leaving all young ones under the age of 13 at the mercy of vampires. Yuichiro Hyakuya spends his life at the family orphanage in the vampire capital city of Sanguinum, but his best friend Michaela begs to differ. Yu looks back to when he met Mika at the orphanage. The children of Hyakuya orphanage unsuccessfully attempt to leave the city, but they are ambushed and killed by Ferret Bathory. Ferret mortally wounds and captures Mika, while Yu escapes from the city alone. 4 years later, Yu joins the Japanese Imperial Demon Army, but is eager to become a member of the Moon Demon Company, a special vampire hunting force led by Guren Ichinos. Due to reckless behavior, Yu meets Shinoa Hiragi, who advises him to make friends at school before the promotion occurs. Yu meets Yoichi Satome. Later, a school evacuation occurs when a female vampire attacks the school. To defy orders, Yu holds the female vampire off, until Guren kills her. Since Yu fulfilled his requirement, Shinoa invites Yu and Yoichi for recruitment training. Shinoa is aware that Yu wanted the power. She spars with him using her cursed gear Shikama Doji, a pen transforming into a scythe, in order to intimidate him. Yu, Shinoa and Yoichi learn that Yuji went underground into a forbidden chamber, where a demon possessed him. When Yu, Shinoa and Yoichi arrive there, Yu confronts Yuji not only in hopes of saving him, but making a contract with the demon and claiming the axe as the cursed gear. After disarming it, Yu has a hallucination of Mika, but breaks free before being tricked into desiring vengeance. After Yu wakes up, Shinoa congratulates him. Mika is shown to be alive shortly in the aftermath, thanks to Krull Teeps, who decided to preserve his life by having him ingest her blood. Shinoa brings Yu and Yoichi to the new classroom held by Sayuri Hanayori. There, Yu meets Shiho Kimizuki. A week before an aptitude test, Guren warns Shiho not to use his desire to find a cure for a virus that affected his sister Mirai simply in order to acquire the strongest cursed gear, since its overwhelming power will consume him. On the day of the aptitude test, Yu and Shiho work together to fight the giant demon puppets. The test is interrupted when Shiho is informed to see Mirai at the hospital. Although their scores are highly affected due to their leave of absence, Shiho thanks Yu for their concern. Krull assembles the vampires and declares war against humans, due to their rise to power. Meanwhile, Guren requests Yu to arrange a time for selecting a cursed gear. After Yu realizes he failed the exam, Guren uses his cursed gear named Mahiranoyo, which takes the form of a katana, to determine which students can withstand the demonic energy. Guren sends Yu, Yoichi and Shiho to the underground chamber, and they choose each of their own cursed gears without trading. Yu, Yoichi and Shiho each confront their respective demons, in the embodiment of their loved ones, in order to gain control of their desire. Yu and Shiho obtain their own cursed gears, but Yoichi ends up possessed by his weapon and begins attacking them. Yu and Shiho fend off the attacks, but they hesitate to harm Yoichi, knowing that his soul is still alive. When Yu drops his cursed gear to leave himself out in the open, Yoichi snaps out of it and stops attacking them, thanks to Guren. As the 3 students all pass the final test to be official members of the Moon Demon Company, Guren tells them to focus on the future to protect others rather than seeking revenge on others. Yu, Shinoa, Yoichi and Shiho meet Mitsuba Sangu, a 5th member of the squad. Guren dispatches them on their first mission together to Harajuku. There, a 4 horsemen of John is spotted attacking a little girl in distress. Despite Mitsuba's warning that he is being lured into a trap, Yu defies Mitsuba and rushes to rescue the girl, while the others are ambushed by 3 vampires. The 4 manage to destroy the horsemen, forcing the vampires to retreat. Although Mitsuba berates Yu for putting themselves in danger, she is later reminded by Shinoa of when she cost the life of a member of her former squad during a mission. The girl informs the squad that the hideout is located at Omotesando Station. Yu and his allies enter Omotesando Station, populated by orphan children. Yu defeats 2 vampires alone. The 5 of them are ambushed by 8 vampires, according to the girl's advice. The squad defeats the vampires and free the children. In the aftermath, the girl apologizes to Yu for deceit. Mitsuba struggles to thank Yu for saving her, but she ends up withdrawing the statement. After Shiho starts a truck by method of hot wiring, the squad meets vampire noble Crowley Yusford, who provokes them despite being significantly outnumbered. However, Chess Bell and Horned Skull arrive, and take Crowley back to the front line. Despite knowing what they will be up against, Yu and his allies move to Shinjuku. The squad rescues their Corporal Nagai from a group of armed helicopters. Guren finds a group of vampires from a distance. Ferret reminds Mika that he should embrace his role as a vampire. A flashback is shown when Mika does not drink Kroll's blood, but eventually gave in to his craving. While Nagai drives the squad towards the western defensive barrier, Shinoa gives you, Yoichi and Shiho each a pack of curse stimulant pills to be used sparingly, which will temporarily enhance their powers. One of the helicopters destroy the area of the road, causing them to fall into a sewage, and separating you, Shinoa and Nagai from Yoichi, Shiho and Mitsuba. You and Shinoa escort Nagai to the temporary shelter to be treated by paramedics, before planning to meet up with Yoichi, Shiho and Mitsuba at the western defensive barrier. While the Moon Demon Company distracts the vampires, Ferret allows Mika to fight Guren. After being informed that Yoichi, Shiho and Mitsuba are being attacked by the vampires at the Central Park, Yu and Shinoa rush over there to assist them, before making their way to the western defensive barrier. Although Shigyo Yukimi and Norito Gashi throw Mika off guard with their attacks, Ferret prevents Guren from making the final blow. Mika stabs Guren before giving him the chance to fight back. As the squad arrives, Yu discovers that Mika is alive. After seeing that Yu hesitated to kill Mika, Ferret agrees to help Mika escape with him. Crowley, Chess and Horn, along with Lakis Welt and Renee Sim, arrive to take on the Moon Demon Company, while Ferret lures Yu and Guren away from the rest. While Ferret restrains Guren, Mika fails to stop Yu, after he declines while knowing how much he has changed. When Yu loses control of his power within him, Mika saves Shinoa and she embraces Yu with a last resort, which reverts him normally before falling unconscious. The vampires and humans then delay the battle. Shinoa visits the underground laboratory and discusses with Guren about the pills. Guren advises Shinoa to wait by Yu at the hospital if she accompanies him. Meanwhile, Mika contemplates his identity as a vampire and human, while Lakis and Renee notice his past association with Yu. On the seventh day, Yu wakes up in the hospital. Shinoa tells you that Mika is with the vampires in response to an attack led by Kurito and Shinya. Yu promises Mika that they will reunite each other. Guren writes a letter to an unknown recipient and Ferret gives a research data to an unknown client. Shinoa reminds Guren that he killed her sister Mahiru in order to get his cursed gear. Guren becomes Yu's comrade and Mitsuba receives a promotion despite seeing herself a failure to Yu. Kurito summons Yu to test his loyalty to the military, due to the suspicion of being a spy. Kurito reveals that Yoichi and Shiho are being held captive, and interrogates Yu, mentioning that his former family were used for spellcraft experimentation by the vampires. After being released, Yu asks Guren to free Mika from the vampires. In Sanguinum, Mika does not harm anyone despite being tempted by Ferret. They attend the upcoming Progenitor Council meeting. After Yoichi eliminates 5 Four Horsemen of John with one attack, Yu confronts the spirit of his cursed gear Azuramu, managing to break free from the illusion and asking her to lend him strength. During the meeting, Ferret has Mika show footage of Yu briefly going berserk at Shinjuku, upsetting Kroll, but Ferret reminds her that she cannot kill him since he has secret information about her. Shiho battles his cursed gear named Kisikyo, but he struggles to break free from the illusion and remembering how Yu strives to protect Mika. While the boys learn their new fighting skills, the girls learn that the data files of Yu, Yoichi and Shiho were erased. Kurito and Aoi receive a letter from the city pigeon. Yu and allies discuss about following Guren. Elsewhere, Kurito deploys Guren in the military to defeat 10 vampires from Nagoya, before they send reinforcements to Tokyo for a month. Meanwhile, Mika satisfies his craving for blood by forcing himself onto Kroll. Once he calms down, she reveals her plans to him and gives him a secret task. Guren, who is briefed by Shinoa about the progress of Yu and Shiho in their training, tells Shinoa to make preparations for the mission. While Mika accompanies other vampires near Nagoya, Kurito orders a forbidden experiment on Mirai for a test subject at the underground laboratory. Yu and his friends travel to the Ebina rest stop, avoiding several Four Horsemen of John. Because of this, They arrive late when Guren gives his speech, in which Yu takes the blame for being late. Yu and his friends train with Guren, Mito Jujo, and Shinya. Despite carefully planning out a strategy, they are defeated. When Makoto Narumi comments that the squad had lacked teamwork and discipline, Guren assigns the combined squad for the next mission. Mika and Lakis collect stray human children for the vampires. Mika realizes that his thirst for human blood has increased even more and spares the girl. Narumi tells the squad that their mission is to kill Local Weskier, while Shinya calms Yoichi down as they wait to snipe Local from a distance. While Local and his servant Esther Lee debate whether to follow Crow, Yoichi and Shinya kill Esther. As the whole squad ambushes Local, he fends them off, until they alter their formation and severely injure him. When Yayoi Endo attempts to finish Local off, he kills himself with the sword. After Guren kills Mel Stefano, Ida Kusunoki informs him that 45 soldiers at Nagoya City Hall were held hostage and 19 of them were killed. At Nagoya City Hall, Crowley, Chess and Horn discuss their next plan of action, suspecting that a traitorous vampire noble provided information from humans. The whole squads regroup, but Aiko Ehara lost 8 soldiers from the mission. Guren leaves Aiko behind to take 3 squads to rescue hostages at the building. Mika, Lakis and Renee discover the soldiers killing themselves with poisonous pills, except Aiko. She tells Mika about the others, while tricking Lakis and Renee into going to Higashiyama Park. After killing Aiko upon her request, Mika decides to find Yu. The Moon Demon Company tries to figure out a way how to handle the hostage situation and come up with a plan to attack Crowley, Chess and Horn. One squad is tasked to distract the vampires, while the other one focus on rescuing hostages. Guren and Shinya head to the office on the top floor to fight Crowley, but they are overwhelmed. Shinoa's squad launches their plan to assist the two when entering the building. When Guren and Shinya try to leave the hallway, they are wounded. Yu appears under the floor near Crowley. The rest of the squad leave the city hall, only for Crowley, Chess and Horn to capture Guren. Saishiro fails to arrest Kurito for having a secret plan in retaliation. To defy the military, Yu consumes 2 pills and falls unconscious. Kurito orders the scientists to increase the dosage into the test subject since they lack time. Yu remains alive due to the power of angels in the form of a golden trumpet, but Azuramaru lures him away from it and gives him enough power to awaken. After reviving, Yu forces Azuramaru to possess him while fighting with Crowley at the auditorium, but Shiho arrives and uses Kisikyo to stop Yu, rendering him unconscious. As the soldiers move to the road area, Mika arrives and charges past them to rescue Yu. Shinoa, Yoichi, Shiho and Mitsuba distract the military, allowing Mika and Yu to escape. The vampires kill Yayoi and Taro Kageyama, before the remaining soldiers escape to Nagoya Airport. Mika brings Yu to the abandoned store and struggles with his thirst for blood. Yu wakes up and sees Mika trying to hold back his craving. He convinces him to drink his blood and keep on living with him, even if that means to survive as a vampire. Even though Mika believes that humans are using Yu, he agrees to trust them. While Yu and Mika head to the airport to rendezvous with the remaining army, Mika explains that both the vampires in the past and the humans in the present had used their experiment. Regardless, Yu ensures Mika to trust them. The test subject for the experiment has been finalized from the cargo. The remaining soldiers receive a letter from the military for them to stand by. Narumi believes the company will abort the mission and rescue Guren. Crowley learns from Ferret that Guren is a Naminari, a human halfway into becoming a demon, in which Mahiru can possess his body. Guren tells the vampires that the humans are at the airport. As the vampires arrive near the military, Kurito kills Shusaku Iwasaki and Rika Inoue with chain spears protruding from a large container. Yu and Mika arrive in time to assist in fending off the spears. The chaos climaxes to a 3-way battle among the Japanese Imperial Demon Army, the Moon Demon Company and the vampires. Guren reunites with Yu. After many soldiers are killed by each spears, Mirai emerges from the container, and summons Abaddon, the Angel of Destruction of the 5th Trumpet, and Kurito controls them. As the fight ensues, Abaddon summons a horde of the 4 Horsemen of John to attack everyone. Yu retrieves the golden trumpet within his subconsciousness, awakens himself as the king of salt of the second trumpet and destroys Abaddon, before falling unconscious. Ferit kills Kroll for betraying the vampires. Yu and his friends resign from the military, and escape from both armies. 4 months later, the Japanese Imperial Demon Army conquers Sanguinum, while the vampires meet Blessed Car. Yu, Mika, Shirnoa, Yoichi, Shiho, Mitsuba and Narumi walk around the beach.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.